Hey everybody, we've got a fun one for you today because this is Brendan's Suburban. Not just any Suburban, it's a Yukon, so I totally lied to you. But this is basically a Suburban 2500, a Yukon XL, the big dog Suburban Yukon with the 8.1 liter engine. And Brendan, you've owned this for a bunch of months now.
Yeah, this thing has I've put it through its paces. I've done some towing with it, picked up a few vehicles with it. It's had a few issues along the way, but overall it's been pretty good for me.
Let's pop the hood and talk about some of the reliability things. So Brendan bought this vehicle as kind of like a tow rig, right?
Yeah.
And adventure vehicle. And it's kind of unusual in that a lot of these came with a 6-liter V8, but not this one. So that's an 8.1 liter Vortec, the 8100, like 320 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that I noticed, so I had a 1500, standard Suburban of this same generation, and I don't notice a huge power difference, but what I do notice is when I'm towing.
Oh.
It just effortlessly pulls whatever I want right behind it.
Howdy folks, I am here with this star of Northern Lightning, our Ford F-150 Lightning, and I have other stars, and all of which you're going to be able to meet at the Overland Expo, including
me. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be hanging out between 2 and 3 on Friday at the Overland Expo to meet and greet you guys, but there's somebody else who's going to be there as well. That's right. It's going to be in Loveland, Colorado, 26th and 27th of August, 2 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Come by and see us. Where are we at, Andre? We're at the Full Wheel Camper booth. And guess what, guys? We've got some stickers to give away. Nice.
Now, over the last few months, have you had any issues with it?
Yeah, so right when I got it, the brake booster was leaking quite profusely. So that needed to go and be replaced. And then right after we did our first video on it, the ABS module went out, leaving me stranded with no brakes because they completely locked up in the middle of the road. So I put a new ABS module on it. The tires were from 2012 and pretty dry rotted out and falling apart. So I got a good set of used tires on there, went a little bit thicker on the sidewall so it's a little more cushy ride. But that's about it. Everything else has been good.
And now the big question is, have you been tracking your fuel economy with the 8.1?
I haven't because I don't want to fill it up at the gas pump. Whenever I pull up, I'm like, I have to stay under $100 to put gas in this, and it never fills it up
Really?
At $90 or whatever I put in it.
Well, these had like a 40+ gallon tank or something, right? It was crazy.
Yeah, I think it's either right over or right under 40 gallons. So it takes quite a lot of fuel for sure.
Now, that's kind of like one of the last of the old school GM V8s, right? The 8.1, and they're pretty desirable. Now, this vehicle when you bought it had a lot of miles, right?
Yeah, just shy of 300,000. I think it was like 295 when I picked it up, and I've put about 1,000 miles on it since I got it.
So almost 300,000 miles. But the crazy thing is, like, pretty much everything works, right?
Yeah, I mean, the seats are in good shape. They're still super cushy, super soft. The radio, which I think is the original, works. The AC works. Everything works as it should on this thing.
Now, a couple of ways you know that this is something special and not just another Yukon is the wheels. So these had 8 lug wheels, which look amazing. Really, really cool set of wheels. And then, of course, that comes with much beefier axles and much beefier underside. And these actually were designed to tow a lot of weight over a long distance. So this is a vehicle that doesn't currently exist anymore. You can buy Yukons, you can buy the extended wheelbase, you can buy Suburbans, you can buy Tahoes, but you can't buy a 2500 version with the HD axles and the beefed up engine and transmission kind of thing. So pretty cool little piece of history here.
Yeah, no, you can actually get the generation after these with the bigger motors in it.
That's right.
But I think it was only sold as like government vehicles, so a lot of them are pretty lowly equipped, kind of like cloth seats and basic stuff. So to get something fully decked out like this with the leather interior and all that, this was really kind of the last generation to do that.
So what is dripping profusely from underneath it?
That air conditioning, it gets very sweaty for sure. I drove it out to the Midwest and it was even worse with all the humidity in the air out there.
That's too funny.
Yep.
No, these are really cool and they're super, super, super durable in the long term. Obviously over 300,000, almost 300,000 miles, and it's still running pretty good. So let's hop inside and take it for a quick spin.
Yeah.
Now the other great thing about these GMT 800s is that they are just incredibly comfortable. This came from an era of General Motors where they didn't so much care about handling and sophistication around turns and just wanted to give you loungers to cruise in. These seats are awesome.
They
and
are.
pretty well equipped. Look at that. Your original head unit still works.
Yep. Yeah, and that flapping noise you can hear. I think there's something behind the dash with the HVAC units. I apologize about that. That's the next thing to get fixed because it can be quite annoying. And then when this thing fires up, it kind of sounds like an airplane firing up.
Sounds like a jet engine's about to take off on
Yep.
us. That's pretty, wow, Case, you're really booking it back there. I'm gonna turn you down a little bit too. So rear seat climate controls, which is nice. And then dual zone automatic climates in the front. With this head unit, does it work? Does it all,
Oh yeah.
look at
It
that.
works.
That's pretty cool. You have a map in the nav? Oh, wrong switch, let's see. No map disc.
No map
So you're
disc.
missing your map disc.
And who knows where to get that? I don't know.
So what have you towed with this beast?
Well, the Subaru that I bought, I towed with this. I've towed a bunch of vehicles. I had a Range Rover that I was too scared to drive because it had working air suspension. I wanted to keep it that way. So I made sure to tow it behind this guy.
I'm gonna go left here. That's really funny. You need your ancient GMC to tow it. Now, how's the power? Is it pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, it's decent. It picks up and moves.
Gives you a little push.
Yeah.
It's all fan. What
Yeah.
does your 8.1 liter sound like? Well, it sounds like a box fan is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it just kind of sounds like a commercial truck, really. It's, if you go and rent something from Penske or whatever, it kind of sounds like what you'd expect that to sound like.
But I have to say, it's remarkably tight in here for the mileage. The dash is nice, right? The door panels aren't all torn up. I know back in the day, like, people gave these interiors, I do too, people give these interiors heck for being very plasticky. But what that means is that they're remarkably durable over the long term. Everything looks good in here. How much did you pay for this? You did a good deal on it, right?
Yeah, I paid around $5,000 for this.
Yeah, what a deal. Amazing.
So-
And that's very unusual because a lot of these are going for well over 10, in some cases over 15 grand.
Yeah, what you're seeing is a lot of the low mileage ones that haven't been driven, to the moon and back a couple of times. Those are getting super expensive. So, with my mindset is if you want something you can drive and not worry about the value of your vehicle, get something high mileage that's been well cared for, just like this.
Yeah.
And then I don't, almost 300,000 miles, I don't care. I'll take this on road trips. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to hurt the value of it.
Are you worried about leaving you stranded?
Not at all.
No, that's
Nope.
good. Yeah, I like it a lot. And like you said too, because it's an older GMT 800 model, you get these nice squishy lounger seats, right? You get some nice luxuries and power seats and heated seats in the Bose audio. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the generation after this, for whatever reason, didn't have as much padding on those seats, so they are much more firm. So I think I've said this before, these are like peak comfort, I think, as far as the GM SUVs go.
Completely. All right, we're gonna go right here, so you want to get in the right lane. Let us know what you guys think of the magnificent Yukon XL in the comments below. Thank you, Brendan, for bringing it by again.
Sure thing.
Keep driving it. We need more miles so we know it's
Will
gonna
do.
last. But as always, we'll see you in the next video.